to you, Mr. Capobianco, please. Okay, thank you.
Hi, family's just down the street.
Okay, thank you.
They know, the Verizon 1145, they just said it's not right down the street.
Okay.
Thank you. Hello. Yes, please.
All right, Second Circuit Court is reconvened. The Honorable Joseph E. Cardozo presiding. Please be seated. Recalling criminal case 16-1-0133, State of Hawaii versus Stephen Capobianco, jury trial.
Again, good morning. The record will reflect the presence of counsel for the parties. The defendant is present. The jury is not present at this moment. I am in receipt of jury and court communication number 1 for this phase of the trial, and it reads, we have reached a decision. So we are in court to receive the decision of the jurors, and we'll have all of our jurors brought into the courtroom. The record was the presence of the members of the jury and our two alternate jurors. You may be seated. Thank you very much. All right. The court is in receipt of your communication, and so at this time, I'll ask the foreperson of the jury to please stand. And the record reflects the foreperson has done that. Am I correct in understanding that the jury has reached a decision that is unanimous with respect to the special interrogatory?
Yes.
Okay. Have you filled out, dated, and signed the special interrogatory?
Yes, I have.
Okay, and I take it that's in that envelope that you're holding.
You're
All right.
correct, yes.
Very good. We'll follow the same procedure that we followed earlier in the case, and we'll have the bailiff approach you and take possession of that envelope. And then I'll review it as to form, and we'll have the clerk of the court read it into the record. Thank you very much, and you may be seated. All right. At this time, I will ask the clerk of the court to read the special interrogatory and the jury's answer into the record.
State of Hawaii, Circuit Court of the Second Circuit, Special Interrogatory, Criminal Number 16-1-0133, State of Hawaii versus Stephen N. Capobianco. We, the jury in this case, find as follows. Has the prosecution proved beyond a reasonable doubt that the murder in the second degree of Carly Scott by the defendant, Stephen N. Capobianco, was especially heinous, atrocious, or cruel, manifesting exceptional depravity? Your answer to this question must be unanimous. The answer, yes. Dated January 3rd, 2017, 11 a.m.
Is there a request for a poll of the members of the jury?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you may be seated while we do this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there hasn't been a request for a poll of the members of the jury. This is similar to the poll that was taken earlier during the case. The purpose of the jury poll is to make sure that the answer read into the record by the clerk of the court is, in fact, unanimous. The polling will take place as follows. We'll begin with seat number 1, work to seat number 12. If you agree with the answer that has been read into the record by the clerk of the court, answer yes. If you disagree, answer no. All right. Is that clear to everyone? All right. Okay, very good. All right, then at this time, we will identify the jurors simply by seat number. Counsel, if you feel there's any irregularity with respect to this, please feel free to bring that to the attention of the court. And so we'll begin with seat number 1 and work to seat number 11. And the clerk of the court may commence polling the members of the jury as to the answer that was read into the record by the clerk of the court.
Juror in seat 1.
Yes.
Juror in seat 2.
Yes.
Juror in seat 3.
Yes.
Juror in seat 4.
Yes.
Juror in seat 5.
Yes.
Juror in seat 6.
Yes.
Juror in seat 7.
Yes.
Juror in seat 8.
Yes.
Juror in seat 9.
Yes.
Juror in seat 10.
Yes.
Juror in seat 11.
Yes.
Juror in seat 12.
Yes.
The answer read into the record by the clerk of the court is unanimous. It having been confirmed that the verdicts read into the court as to counts 1 and 2 are unanimous, and that the answer to the special interrogatory is also unanimous, the verdicts and the answer to the special interrogatory will be made a part of the record of this case. And I just have a couple more things, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm going to do before I discharge you from further jury service in this matter. First, I'm going to read an instruction to you that applies to, or that I read at the conclusion of all jury trials in this courtroom. And I hope it provides you with some guidance. Again, I want to stress that I read this at the conclusion of all jury trials in this courtroom. And the instruction reads as follows. Well, I should preface this just for the benefit of others, and that is, in order to give you the opportunity to resume your lives after this process, and to provide a little bit of space for all of you, I'm going to, for the time being, and this is temporary in nature, but I'm going to order that you not discuss the case with anyone other than your fellow jurors or the court, and that no one discuss the case with you. So this is temporary in nature. This will not be a permanent order, and I'm going to provide you with instruction that applies once I authorize communication with others. But I'm hoping that this will be of some assistance to you in resuming your normal lives, because I realize you have made a very long commitment to this case, and I think it would be helpful for you to transition back into your normal routines in life. So this instruction will apply at the appropriate time, once you've been authorized to communicate. And the instruction reads as follows. After you have been discharged from your service as jurors in this case, and the court authorizes you to discuss this case with others, you will be free to discuss this case with anyone. We're not at that point now, but you will be. You may discuss your opinion about how the case was presented, the performance of the attorneys, the credibility of the witnesses, the usefulness of the exhibits, the jury instructions, and procedural matters. However, you should be careful not to discuss your thoughts or any other jurors' thought processes. In other words, why or how the jurors reached or did not reach their verdict or verdicts. To do so would violate the confidentiality of the jury deliberation process. If you wish to report any improper conduct by any juror or jurors during the deliberations that may have been prejudicial to the defendant or to the state, or that may have compromised the fairness of your jury deliberations and or verdicts, then please do so by notifying the bailiff before you leave the courthouse. If at some point after you have already left the courthouse, you want to contact the court about the above concerns, please send a letter to the court. The court, upon review of these matters, may summon some or all of the jurors back to court to hold a hearing to determine whether there was any misconduct that may have been prejudicial to the parties. And again, this is a standard instruction that's read at the conclusion of all jury trials in the case, and I'm sure you can tell that by the language, because the language refers to cases where there has been a verdict and where there's not been a verdict. So this will come into play when you're authorized to communicate with others concerning the case. But again, out of respect for all of you, I will put in a no contact order for the present time. Now, before excusing you, I have just a few remarks I'd like to share with you. So, first of all, before excusing the members of the jury, and this of course includes our alternate jurors, I would like to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for your service as jurors. And when I say that, I'm including our 4 alternate jurors as well as our first 12 jurors. I thank you for your dedicated service as jurors throughout the trial of this case. It goes without saying that your service as jurors has been critical to this important process. The historical background to your presence during this trial dates back approximately 230 years, to the very birth of our nation. Those living during that time brought to the 13 colonies a system of courts, judges, and juries. However, during the time leading up to and during the American Revolutionary War, the right to a fair trial was placed in jeopardy. Thus, when this nation was formed, the founders believed that the judgment of impartial people like you would best serve the ends of justice in this nation that would become known as the United States of America. The importance of preserving and governing by the people was summarized perhaps best by Thomas Jefferson, who was quoted as saying, "Trust the process that trusts the people." Consequently, the founders made the wise choice to have our system of justice include the right to have cases resolved by people seated as jurors. Ultimately, the Bill of Rights of this nation was put into place to guarantee that cases of this nature could be decided by a jury. And you have been a part of that process. Without people like you willing to serve, we would have to turn our system of justice over to a select few rather than guaranteeing that it remain with the people. The experience of other countries during the past 230 years has demonstrated that turning over a system of justice to a select few can lead to grave injustice. Months ago, you made a commitment to this community, to our state, and to our nation to serve as fair and impartial jurors. Additionally, your employers and families were asked to make a similar commitment. Often the sacrifices of employers and families are forgotten. I would like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to your employers and families for their sacrifices throughout this process. As jurors, you were asked to serve fairly, impartially, and with complete dedication to this important civic duty. Courts are not permitted to comment on jury verdicts, and thus I will not do so. However, I am sure that, and I can speak for myself, and I'm sure that the many who observe this process can say that you have served with the highest level of dedication and commitment. Words will never adequately express the depth of our appreciation for your service. Your commitment to service has been an important step in the process of guaranteeing that our system of justice will live on through and by the people. Accordingly, on behalf of the judiciary of the state of Hawaii and on behalf of the staff of this court, I humbly and with heartfelt appreciation say thank you to each and every one of you, our 12 jurors and our 4 alternate jurors, for your steadfast commitment to duty and service. Thank you very much. Happy New Year. And you are now discharged from further jury service in this matter. And the bailiff will now escort you from the courtroom. Thank you very much. The record reflects that the jurors are no longer present in the courtroom. The defendant, having been found guilty as charged, the court at this time will order the preparation of a pre-sentence report. So, Mr. Capobianco, you'll be hearing from someone with the Adult Client Services Branch, and they'll be working on preparing the pre-sentence report. I will order that Mr. Capobianco return to this court on March 24th, 2017, at 8:30 a.m. for sentencing in this matter. We are in recess. Thank you very much.